Hello and welcome back to Taking the Time. I'm Brian Coach here with Dr. Q, Brad McAllister. And we are back after a week of being absent because I had my second COVID shot and I was running a fever, and I would not have been very entertaining at all. It probably would have just been kind of pathetic and sweaty. So I figured we would save you guys that visual, and so.
Right. All right. So what are we doing today?
That's a great question.
It's always a great question. Half the time we don't even know what we're doing, right?
That's it's
That
fun fact. We often don't know what we're doing. We just go with it.
Yeah. All right. So in the news, don't have a lot of news. In regards of Mitchell, there was a slight delay receiving the Air Commander, the Moon Phase prototypes, but they should be shipped out next week. I know I teased a little early. I teased out some photos from the factory. I'm just so excited about this watch. It's so cool. I've got a special deal out to everybody that ordered the Raider and backed me, being an unknown brand, relatively speaking. When we did the Raider, had a lot of positive support and feedback. So everybody that bought a pre-order Raider got a special email, a special discount deal for the Air Commander, and that is an automatic moon phase. That's a true moon phase. A lot of people have asked me, it isn't that AMP indicator that's a fake moon phase. I'm like, no, man, it's a legitimate mechanical moon phase. It's a Salida 280. The movement costs more than a lot of micro brands as a whole. So keep that in mind. It's a mechanical, it's an automatic moon phase watch. Is not cheap. And
that's a very complicated movement. It is.
I mean, it's 28.5 day cycle. So you gotta think of the mechanics and the gears it takes to manage that. So it's a little different.
I can't make one. There's no way. If you see, hold a gun to my head, say, "Hey, build this." Be like, "I'll give you a sundial. Here you go."
And something to note in the pictures you're going to see of the samples, the date wheel will be black in the production, whereas the samples are white. They asked me if I wanted to get that changed over for the samples, and I said not to worry about it. I just need to get those samples as soon as I can so I can get them photographed. Send one maybe to a few reviews and get going that way. So
I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to see how it fits on this, giant paw. Right? For any of your other customers who have hooves instead of hands, that or paws, instead of hands. I know I'm not alone in the, it's like you get a great new watch, and the first thing you have to do is find a new strap for it because it's not long enough, or and it's just like or you just totally say screw it and you just throw it on a NATO or something like that just so you can wear the thing, which would look a little bit wrong with that particular watch. So yeah.
All right. Another thing I want to mention with Wrist Check Monthly, we have a promo code that we can share with all of our listeners, and that is Taking the Time 10. That promo code will get you 10% off. Pardon me. Wow. That snuck up on me a little bit. Taking the Time 10, that'll give you 10% off anything in the subscriptions in the marketplace, from what I understand. So be sure and use that code for your subscription. It's a one-time shot at 10% off, which is going to save you an extra 10% on top of the great deals that they have. And trust me, guys, they pull off some pretty cool deals with their subscriptions and with their actual watch shop too. So be sure and get on over to Wrist Check Monthly. Check them out. Get your subscription in. I think what is it, the 5th? I think they close on the 10th, if I remember off the top of my head. So you still have a few days to subscribe for the March. Everybody seemed to be extremely happy with the February subscriptions. So get over there, check them out, subscribe. And I I think that's all I can really think about for news. You got anything?
Yeah, Valhalla Norway, the Kickstarter. It is funded. I did talk to Roy. He's still waiting on a number of people to pay. It's technically funded on Kickstarter. Like they took my money, but I guess some other people, I'm not sure. So I think it has a week for people to pay. And if everybody pays, then it's funded. If not, I guess everybody's getting a refund and it's a no-go, which would be a bummer, but it is what it is. And that's just the latest news that I have on that. That's the most updated, and accurate info that I have. So I'm hoping that, people come through, and I still don't completely understand Kickstarter.
There's no reason to get into Kickstarter.
Yeah. I mean, people, if you look at somebody and they say they back 800 watches at the same time, I don't know why. And it's like, they're not going to buy all 800 watches. I just don't understand it. So
you're gonna get me angry about Kickstarter. So we gotta.
It's really easy to go down that road, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate Kickstarter, but it is what it is, and some companies need that to get going. And I was lucky to have successfully funded my Raider after having to fail Kickstarter. But anyway,
yeah.
Today,
awesome comeback story there.
Let's do a wrist check. What are you wearing?
I am boring today.
Man, I'm gonna talk to Emily, and I'm gonna tell her to hide that or take a hammer to it. I don't know which.
It's not quite hammer worthy yet, but yeah, I don't know. It's just my beater. It's like, and I don't say it pretentiously, like, oh yes, my beater's a Tissot. No, it really is. Like, I screwed up the chronograph on this thing, probably from smacking it around and cutting trees and stuff. I mean, I really do. I torture this thing. And yeah, I mean, it's so I just hadn't changed watches today. So,
all right, are you ready?
What do you got? All I know is that my mail call did not. Oh, you got it. Yes, my mail call did not make it. It did not come in today. But I can't wait to see. Oh, that looks so good. The Kaal Multiverse there.
You know what's funny? Like, this is the first watch that we've been able to like show a decent image on the screen.
It's one of the most awesome watches. I had it as my most unique watch back at the end of the year, last year, at the beginning of this year, right? Whatever it was when we did that, because I just kind of stumbled over my notes and I was like, oh yeah. And
here, let me put that up one more time.
Oh, that's why my mail call didn't come in today. Aha. You slippery bugger. Yeah, fantastic. Let's see that one more time. That, yeah. That's excellent.
Which one?
Both. Both.
It's your watch. The buckle's a nice signed buckle, and I'm sure we went over that with the prototype, but the fantastic back there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's just something special about that.
Yeah. I put mine on a croc. I had a nice dark gray croc that I put mine. So let me tell you. So right off the bat, we both handled and reviewed this piece, and it's absolutely one of the most unique. And that's why there's this giant bubble sapphire crystal, which is phenomenal. It's, what can you tell me that was this unique of a design last year or period?
It was that was the most. I just like I said, I stumbled over my notes from the show. I think we did. It was the first one of this year. It was kind of hey Francesco, great to have you here, and Daniel as well. Thank you guys. But yeah, there was nothing that crazy out there, and that that watch is kind of off the chain as far as design. It's extremely bold.
Yeah. I mean,
the
bridge going across the watch to hold up the moon, Earth, or the sun, depending on which one you get. It's just so unique. The dome itself, whether it's the Earth, the moon, or the sun. So yeah, I mean, I don't even. Yeah, like I can't think of anything. I mean, I picked for the most unique the Grupa Gamma Nexus, which is the Wandering Hour, but there are a number of other Wandering Hour watches out there. I just happen to favor Grupo Gammas. This is a unique piece solely on an original thought, design, etc., etc. It's I fell in love with it, and I'm not an astronomy geek by any means. I think you are, but I just saw it and I'm like, it's very cool. It's a great conversation piece. But I mean, so let's hit the specs real quick. 42 millimeter, right? Yeah. Am I recalling that correctly?
Yeah, 42 by 40.
Don't even worry about the lug to lug. It wears nicely. It is on the thicker side. I don't remember exactly the thickness either. Brian will hit that here in a second, but it's got a nice brushed case. It's got these nice lugs with like a little shooting star on the lug design there. Our complaints with the prototype, excuse me, were the legibility of the minute hand, which has been corrected with that larger red hand. Oh, we got a little nice sparkle in there. There's the and I can never pronounce this right. I'm just going to say the moonstone.
Yeah, it's that where it has that kind of.
And if you're watching us here, you can see just below me a nice sparkle right by that. And that's a good shot of the minute hand there too. So, very pleased with the fit, finish, and quality of everything. The second hand glides around the moon. It's kind of cupped over. So what you have is this dome. So imagine my hand is the dome, which would be the sun, the earth, or the moon. And so there's a second hand that rolls around it, and it's kind of bent. It's angled and designed to curve around so that it's going around the top of the outer disc there. The loom, it's explosive.
Even on the crown, you get bonus loom on the crown, and it's just really. I know it's hard to do loom shots on here because you can't. Well, for you can't turn the sun off. So a little bit difficult there, but I mean it. Really, it's pictures just don't do that. Don't do it justice. You really appreciate. You have to hold it, and
right. So if you think you like it, buy it, and you will like it. That's kind of my mental take on that. I posted this watch in one of the groups we're in one of the chat groups, I should say, and somebody's like, I don't even know how to read that, and it's like, I understand your statement, but if you have the watch and you unscrew the crown and roll it forward, it automatically makes sense. Like you just on that. So if you're looking at the watch right now, you can see that the 5 is like going towards 1 o'clock, the traditional 1 o'clock position, right? So I've got a little bit of a glare on there, but so the time is 5, like 20 or something like 20. That, right? Mm-hmm. So you see the red hand is right there at 20, and then 5 is the predominant number. It's almost directly to 12. So what happens is 6 o'clock is going to creep towards the 12 o'clock position as it gets closer to 6 o'clock. Again, super easy to read the time. And then the second hand's like a little asteroid just circling the moon or the Earth, whichever model you have.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and I agree. I thought it was going to be really difficult to read the time versus a conventional, 2 or 3-handed watch or clock. Um, it was not difficult at all. You get used to it's. I mean, it's really easy because the minute hand now, especially with that minute hand being that bright, testing.
Got a nice size to it.
Well, it's
So
like 20, 21, 22 after. It looks like after.
Yep. This is yours.
Yeah. Look, after 4 on that one.
Isn't set. The factory strap is quite nice too. It's a nice thick black leather. I just happen to have a Croc strap that I prefer over it. So.
Well, it's one of those watches that you kind of can go kind of wherever you want with the strap. You could go with something a little, maybe, crazier, more industrial or kind of lunar, they make, I always thought it would look cool. And it may be a kind of silvery NATO that's, kind of looks like duct tape. I know that sounds bad, but it would kind of look cool on that watch. I think it would.
Or that Galaxy strap.
Yeah.
Galaxy style, like with the, the sparkles and such. That would be a cool option. I mean, yeah, there's not really a strap that I can think that would look terrible on it. Like if you put a lime green on it, like that might even still work.
You could pretty much do anything. Yeah.
It's like whatever floats your boat on that. I can't remember any complaints about the prototype other than the minute hand. I think that was our biggest qualm with that. And that's been rectified. The one negative I have to say about this watch is like, I wish I could see the moonstone more, but like that just goes to show like the level of detail in the piece is like the dial, the actual dial that's underneath everything.
Yeah.
Is that beautiful stone that you can see when it hits the light, right? But because of the disc, the moon, the earth, or the sun, it kind of takes away from that a little bit. But I mean, that just goes to show the level of details that were attained in creating this timepiece, which is ultimately a very unique piece. Whether you love it or like it, it's gonna be a conversation for sure. If somebody sees them, like, what is that? That's crazy looking.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes when when I wear it out for the first time when I get it.
Somebody's going to notice.
Yeah, people are going to notice it. I guarantee. Now, whether or not they talk to you about it, yeah, that's one of those things that watch people really do that, and
it's not that terribly thick either. I know a lot of people will be concerned about the thickness because of that down, but it wears really nicely.
Yeah, Sean, just said the cheapest NATO has that full loom strap. It's a strap that actually glows too. Like that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the whole that whole ring, that white ring that you see, that whole area is loom. So that's going to glow. Those numbers are nice, big, fat numbers to glow as well. And then you have loom. You have loom on the minute and the seconds hand as well. There's loom shots out there, and it's one of the most loom watches you can probably get without getting a full loom dial. It's a loom monster. So if that's your thing too, you're not going to be disappointed with that either. It's a mixture of C3 and BGW9, I believe. It's a combination. Looks fantastic in the glow.
Yeah, it does. It looks really cool. The whole chapter ring lights up. I mean, it's just, and you see, and you get a whole different experience with it. And yeah, it is. It's one of those watches that you get different bonuses. You never really lose anything. It's just when when you have it out in the sunshine, that's cool. And you catch that moonstone effect on the dial, and you get that kind of, and then lights out. That's interesting. Let's see how this
Yeah.
works.
Comes in this pouch. That's how it comes, right? That pouch is in said box. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of an old like a video game box, like a Nintendo, like the 8-bit Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like 8-bit Nintendo cartridge box is what it reminds me of. I'm dating myself.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but I mean, that's pretty cool though. It's definitely, see the pouch again, or do you have that out still? Or pretty, what is it? Is it neoprene or is it?
Yeah, it feels like neoprene. It feels very much like a neoprene pouch.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's feels
That's
solid.
cool, yeah.
And then the warranty card, and then it has all the details of the watch on the back. So it's very cool.
That is really cool.
Excellent. I had actually, this is the first time I saw it, so I was like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's the boarding pass." So it's super cool the way the details are put on there and everything. So it's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole process. It was a brainchild of Alvin, and it's just he wasn't afraid to make something completely bonkers, and then it worked. And it's I love, really, this is, I mean, the most, just everything, the design, the way it functions, everything is just super unique. It's like, and once you see that, you're like, yeah, I definitely don't have one of those.
Right? Yeah,
seen one before, so like, wow, yeah, but I do have one. Just you have it right now, so
you might have one. I don't know.
I might have one, or I might have to come to Arizona and
get it.
kick in the door. Yeah, so, but no, it's just it's really cool, and I just have to applaud the guys there for their design. Is extremely bold. There's a ton of like there's little comets and things. Kind of, I remember when I reviewed the watch, and my wife Emily and I were both kind of looking at it at the same time, and I said, "Yeah." On the lugs, I was like, "There's like comets," and she's like, "No, it's like a shooting star." Yeah. Well, we were both looking at two different parts of it. There is, like, on more of the top, there are like something that looks a bit more like a comet, and then if you go to the side of it, that's the star. That's what she saw, but I saw it was on top of the lugs, and it looks kind of like more like a comet coming into Earth or whatever. And so, and just the amount of and we both thought each other was crazy. We were actually looking at two different details on it, and that's how. I mean, that's how much work really went into it. It's this little stuff, and then
and Alvin is meticulous about quality control too. We were having a conversation with him as he's going through, and it's just talking with him. He's a fantastic guy to chat with, an upstanding gentleman of the watch community, and the quality control that these watches go through is very meticulous. Absolutely. So you're going to get a quality timepiece when you're buying from Alvin. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think he's like throwing them into brick walls or anything. I hope not. But it's like, and
it's early testing.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's just test it to total failure. No, that's never a good idea. But he QC's the heck out of them. Make sure that everything that's going out, he's had hands on it, and it's just, I mean, so if you get it, it should be perfect, exactly what you want. And it is it's a really fun watch. I look forward to getting it.
Yeah, and, you'll have it in a few days.
Yeah,
promise. I've got my own.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I know. And truthfully, I actually told Brad he could even wear mine.
And I was like, "You're
and
crazy."
he
It's not right.
graciously declined. He just said if he felt weird about it, and I think that that I was like, dude, you can
deflower another man's brand new watch. That's
and
wrong.
I mean, you have to be a real watch person to say that. Be like, like it's like asking to borrow your wife or like you just don't do that. Like so. But I was like, no, dude, take it for a test drive. I don't care. Rock it. It doesn't matter. Hey, it should be enjoyed. It's
Yeah, and I mean, it's just such a unique piece. Definitely go check it out. I'm trying to recall the price. I think the pre-order was it was quite a good deal on the pre-order, but
I think
I'm
it was
trying to recall
around $3.99 or something.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what it currently is. I'm trying to pull up their website right now.
Not sure.
Oh, here we go. I'll get up for the banner too. If you'll forgive me, I was quite busy before this, and so we were a little compressed for time. Just hit some quick specs. Lug to lugs 47. The thickness of that total watch is 19 millimeters thick, and that's because it has a Superdome sapphire. It is AR coated. It's got all the specs. It's an NH35 movement, but if you think about the engineering that went into this watch, is quite impressive because there was a lot of challenges, a lot of problems to solve. It looks like right now the retail price on the watch, whether it's the sun, the earth, or the moon, is $699. And I know a lot of people are going to kind of scoff at that because it's fairly expensive, but this is where you realize that you're buying a design and some engineering.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it's Kaal Watch. I'm going to add that to the banner right now. Kaalwatch.com. It's KAAL watch.com. Kaalwatch.com. And so you can go check that watch out there. We both really enjoyed the prototype, so we took advantage of the pre-order, and we just got these, or I just got these yesterday. So they're just starting to deliver. So get over to Kaal Watch and get your watch ordered, whether it's the sun, the moon, or the earth. We all have our preferences. I chose the moon. I just thought the way the craters and the shape was kind of an interesting look. Brian picked out the earth, which is a fantastic blue with a swirl of clouds and such, and as you would see the earth from space. Very, very good looking watch.
Fun factoid. This is only the second watch that you and I have both jumped on.
Right. That's true.
It is. I mean, we've bought other watches in between, but this is only the second watch other than the Mitchell, which was your design. So you obviously have one, and I bought two. So, it's so yeah, this is the only second time we had a crossover. We didn't get the exact same model, but it's the same design. And so I mean that's something too. I mean, because everybody has different taste, and as much I think that our tastes can be similar, they're also they vary quite vastly as well. So something you could look at me like, why would you? I don't know, and just everything. Everybody likes different stuff, It's so and so just something that's more, and this one is very, very unique.
Yeah, and it's in a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way, in my opinion. It's not boring. It's it's something that when I wear it to school, which is work, the kids are going to get a kick out of it. They're going to enjoy seeing that, and it's going to be fun. Yeah, adults are going to notice it too, but kids will probably pay more attention to it, I think, which is kind of fun.
It is, and I think it kind of brings out the kind of the kid in you. It brings you back to when you.
Kids are, sorry to interrupt, but kids are just more comfortable with asking questions and stuff like that. They don't like adults are not. A lot of adults might be like, "Oh, that's weird looking," or "That's different," or "What is that?" But kid will just be like, "Hey, what is that?"
Yeah,
it's got a natural curiosity, whereas adults are a little more reserved. So that's why I say it like that. I don't think it's a kiddish watch by any means.
No, I'm saying that it brings out like your inner. To me, it's kind of like it brings out that inner
excitement.
It's just like you kind of just like you get excited about this thing, like, oh, this is really cool. I've never seen this before, and so
it's just that unique, and it's not a heavy watch. It's comfortable. It's a good size. It's 42. I felt like I haven't worn anything smaller than a 42 in probably a year or two. I have a 41 that I wear. I have a 41 millimeter that I wear. I don't wear anything smaller than that anymore. 41's like my minimum, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's like, man. I mean, obviously, my
just a lot.
I think this is a 45 or 46. I don't know. It's a big old, and this is thick. I mean, look at that. It looks like a cheeseburger sitting on top of my wrist. I mean, it's.
Don't talk about food. I haven't ate dinner yet. I'm starving.
I haven't eaten anything today. So, but yeah. So,
yeah, get on over to callwatch.com. Check that watch out. Get yourself ordered, and get your choice of dial right now. You can order all three right now. I don't know what the quantities are at this point, but definitely don't delay, because it's just such a unique piece. It's a great conversation piece, and it's got some fantastic quality to it. So I think that's really all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could ramble on about it for probably a very long time. It's just there's so many little details, and the website's really good. They have some really good pictures of the multiverse. It is just there's the attention to detail is extremely high, and you can tell, like when you see that the case back, and I mean, I'm trying to remember what's going on the case back. Kind of has like planets going around, and it has like a little open heart thing, and so you can kind of see what's going on.
Yeah,
so what part of the movement are you doing? That was probably the rotor.
It's the hairspring.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of hard to see, but
yeah,
when the rotor's not in the way, you see the oscillation of the hairspring.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, they really thought it out. I mean, they really thought of everything, and it was So, I mean, we could just ramble on about how cool it is, but the truth is that if you see a picture of it and you think it's cool, wait till it's in your hand, and then you're going to be like, this is definitely cool.
Yeah, there is no picture that'll do it justice. You just have to see it and be able to take it in person, because there's nothing that compared to seeing that 3D concept in person, for sure. Before we go, I just want to give another shout out to Wrist Check Monthly. Taking the time 10 will get you 10% off of your subscription order on their website. I got their website scrolling at the bottom, wristcheckmonthly.com, and get on over there, get your order in. Use the coupon code Taking the Time 10 for your discount. And I think that's it for me, my friend. What do you got?
I'm about out of it, and so I'm hopefully I'll be able to show it off maybe next week. By then, by next week's show, or then it'll be here. So I'm really looking forward to it, but it's one of those things, like, it's so worth the wait. It just is, like,
yeah.
you know, it's just really cool and fun. So yeah, well, I guess that's about it today. Yeah, want to thank everyone again.
Watching, excuse me, if you're watching or listening to us, make sure you go to Facebook, Taking the Time Watch Talk, give us a like, and show us some love there.
That's our
Veterans Watch Collector channel on YouTube, and then you can find us on Spotify and like 10 different other like
iTunes. I thought our Instagram was Taking the Time Watch Talk.
Instagram is Taking the Time
Watch Talk.
I don't know. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, on Facebook. I know it.
I don't post enough pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't even have access to it. That's how professional we are. So, but I take bad pictures anyway. So
I can't figure out how to share that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and shut this down, guys. Brian might be showing this off next week's show. And until then, have a good one.
Yeah, enjoy. Hope everybody had fun, and it's good to be back. Until next time. Bye-bye.